Colin Miller again, bowling his off-spinners. Oh, that's gone in the air. This is going to be safe, is it? No, this might be out. Oh, there's a collision. Oh, a dreadful collision down there. Dreadful collision. My goodness. Well, two of them charging down towards each other. Is that who's that? Is that Steve Waugh? I think he's holding his nose. And there was no real call. Look at, is it Gillespie down there with him? Steve Waugh not feeling good at all. Well, that was one of the worst that I've seen. Both these players desperately going for it. And the captain, it looks to me as if he's got a bit of a problem. Have a look at it again. Up she goes. No call here from the outfielders. They were both so intent on getting there. It was one of those that actually bounced right between them. Have a look at them. Eyes on the ball. That's Gillespie coming in there now. Watch Steve Waugh. And there's a big collision there. Head on and right into... Oh, Steve Waugh's gone straight into his forehead. So it looks as if Steve Waugh may well have damaged his nose. I suspect this. He may have broken his nose there. However, he's moving around all right, but still flat on his back. That's a nasty one.
It's horrendous. It's something that happens from time to time in this game, and invariably it's through lack of communication. But at the same time, normally speaking, one player or the other will call for it, say that's mine. But when both have got exactly the same chance, there you see the forearm of Gillespie swiping across the face of Steve Waugh. The bridge of the nose is the first thing he holds. But it's not the first time that I've seen this sort of thing happen, but it is something that sometimes is inevitable, sometimes through lack of communication. But it's not nice to see.
Yes, I think he's been opened up, actually. I thought for a second it was on the forehead, but if it's the arm, it's probably not quite as bad. Let's have a look at this. In he goes there. Oh, it's almost arm and shoulder. And I think he's opened Steve Waugh up. It looks as if he's got a cut down the side of his nose. You can see his hand going straight for his nose there. And back he goes. He'd be pretty well dazed as well. So this doesn't look good. He's obviously got a very damaged nose at the moment, and there's a lot of blood all over the place. So Steve Waugh is going to be carried off the ground. There's no doubt about that. With a bit of luck, they've got a stretcher on this ground somewhere. But they want to get him away now. The other problem is Gillespie, who's lying there not getting much attention at the moment. It happens to fast bowlers. They tend to look after batsmen a bit more so. And if you're captain, it's a big advantage as well. Gillespie's looks as if he's got a bit of shoulder pain there.
Yeah, nobody's too worried about Jason Gillespie. There's blood around Steve Waugh. One more. This is a great angle. Both looking at the ball. Now you'll see Waugh's face go into Gillespie's shoulder. There. Shoulder, upper arm, I would say. Yeah. Nasty, nasty collision. So Waugh is bound to go off. He's still on his back. In fact, Gillespie is now being carried off.
Yes, those two gentlemen watching there are the chairman of the board of control for cricket in Australia, the Australian Cricket Board. That's Dennis Rogers, and alongside him the chief executive Malcolm Speed, and they'll be watching some pretty nasty scenes. And he's been taken off. I'm just trying to think, just judging by the way they're carrying him off there, one can only assume that he's trying to fix his shoulder. It's not a great way to carry him. But anyhow, he's been taken off the ground. That's a huge blow to Australia. He's going off, a leading bowler being taken off the ground. I don't know whether it's his leg. It just looks to me that they're trying to hold his leg. It may be his knee is buggered.
He was holding his shin bone at one stage. Whether it's that, and that's why they're carrying him in that way. But let's see. We got nose on arm, and where does Steve Waugh's crashed into the lower part of Jason Gillespie's right shin. So I think that's Gillespie's problem. And that's Steve Waugh's problem. He looked a couple of rounds with Mike Tyson here. Not a pretty sight and not a pretty feeling. A bang on the beak is not a lot of fun.
Yes, he'll have some big black eyes there, but good to see him walking anyhow. If I know Steve Waugh, he'll be back on the field before long. But it may just be that he needs stitches. Now, let's see if we can just pick up what happens to Gillespie and what he hangs on to once the collision takes place. Right knee looks as if it could be a problem. He goes over now onto his back, and let's just see if we can pick up what he holds. At this stage, he's just trying to let's see now. He lies there on his left side. Where does his hand go to? His hand goes straight down to his right shin. That's the first thing he grabs. Well, we'll get a report, no doubt, from the dressing room. The Australian team are very good with this sort of thing. They'll certainly let us know. They'll want us to pass the messages back on to Australia. So you see, he's grabbing his leg there, his right shin. It seems that's a bit of a problem. He may well have done himself a little bit of damage there, Robin. I think that's probably what it is. So a very worried chairman of the Board of Control and Malcolm Speed. So that's the situation here at the moment. We'll be back in just a moment.